now happening at negative 60p. That doesn't just, it's going to bug me forever now.
So weird.
Yeah.
I wish I had answers for you, but I don't.
Yeah. Okay, well, hello and welcome to Behind the Locked Doors, a podcast where I forget to come up with a joke sometimes, and it's just a thing. So
we're just here.
I am Scott. It's just one of those days. I am Scott Paladin. I am working on a crime werewolf noir drama, audio drama thing called It Takes a Wolf.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm not. It's all right. I'm not gonna impersonate you this time. No, it's best done in small doses, Jack. You know, when you least expect it.
You can go anyways. But now I'm scared.
No. Oh, hello. I'm Mike, aka Interiority. I am working on a audio drama, a sci-fi audio drama called Sundered, and I also have Sam locked up in my basement.
Yeah, because we don't.
why
The rest of us don't know where Sam is, so for all we know, that could be real. Hi, I'm Jack. I'm working on As in West, which is a spin-off of the actual play Unspeakable Distance.
Cool. So we'll start off with our check-ins. I'll go first. This thing I set for myself was 1,000 words. I did not hit that. I think I got about 600. It's only that high because we're recording a day late, and I was rushing some of my homework last night. Like tap. I need to get this, take the opportunity. So yeah, I'm still sort of struggling with like actually getting stuff down, and I'm not sure how much of that is like the disruption to my life that is still the fallout is still falling out and all that stuff, or if it's like part of it might also just be where I'm at or some combination thereof. But progress is progress, so we'll call that a moderate success.
Progress is progress, and so many factors can combine to create blocks to the progress happening. So makes total sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
So Mike, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty all right. I can't remember exactly what I said last time, but I think I was very kind of like bold and ambitious, and thought that I would have the full set of scripts, my first arc, which is either going to be 3 or 4 episodes, haven't quite decided yet, done and ready to show to someone. Not quite there yet. I've increased the word count slightly, but most of it has been rewriting and publishing. But I have got to about 40 pages polished and ready to show to people. I've given the first 35 to someone a couple of days ago, and just before we started recording this, I had my feedback. So so I'm feeling pretty good about it. Like, most of the stuff has been really positive. Like, comments include like heartwarming, funny, and harrowing, which is exactly the kind of the zone I'm aiming for. So I feel like I kind of locked in a bit there, which is
that
nice.
feels like your vibe.
Yeah,
exactly.
The Simmons stuff in Unspeakable Distance was all like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It's my brand. Sorry, Scott is distracting us with a very, very
the cutest
cute
dog I've ever seen.
Yeah, like
I
just.
He started. He ran over to the window like, oh my god, I have to bark at something. So I'm like, well, you're getting picked up then.
Well, air jail for baby.
Yeah. The other thing I've done is I've locked Sam away, and I'm forcing him to write more on the draft in order to get more progress. So in a way, I'm helping out. That might be the way. That
might be the only way. I'm sorry, Sam. You're not here, so we are going to rag on you a little bit.
But, no, that's only
like
fair.
a lot's going on.
I got the draft of the first half of the As in West pilot from Sam earlier I don't remember if it was this week or last week. It was recently. And I've begun working on the second half of the pilot. So we actually did make forward progress this time. I don't know what my word count is on this pilot 0.2 draft right now, but it's probably 500-ish words or something. I put down a couple. I banged a little bit at work the other day on the clock because fucking capitalism.
Yay.
Hey, time theft is good, and we encourage everyone to commit as much of it as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're not committing time theft, you probably should be.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, so none of us stagnated. We all made at least a little bit of forward progress, which is great.
We love that.
I love that for us. I normally try to bring a topic to these kinds of discussions where we have a little bit of something. But,
I had one.
Oh, good. Good, because I was saying I didn't.
Okay. I had a topic, which is for all of y'all who are script writers. what is your favorite script writing software to use? / is there one that's better when you pay for it, that's worth paying for? / is there one that's better when you're trying to collaborate and share scripts with somebody else, or like, make edits to each other's scripts? Because generally I use Google Docs for almost everything, which, is not totally ideal, but it does make it really easy to like comment on other people's stuff and like make edits or suggest edits and like move the text around fairly easily. So like, what do y'all use?
So for basically all, 3 of 4 seasons on Breathing Space, we predominantly used a program called Writer Duet, which is an online only or almost entirely online, service. You pay X number of dollars a month, and it does have collaborative stuff in it. So it is pretty good for like sharing out. Which is, in fact, probably the best feature about it. It's not, I don't know, we'd used a ton of like, I would share a script that was in progress and somebody would go in and write their own sections of it. But what it has is a pretty robust commenting system. So when you share out a link on Writer Duet that says, here's my progress, or here's what I'm working on, can you make comments? Somebody, without even like making an account, I think you can just like go through and add comments to like, I want to, say something about this section. I want to say something about this section. That is super useful for when you're like getting feedback from people, because it really easily ties where somebody wants to make a comment to what it is. And then you can go in and you can have a little conversation. You can go back and forth replying to their comment. And then, like it's got a thread thing on that. And then also when you resolve a comment, you can say mark resolved and like clear them out and stuff like that. That's really great. That being said, it has a free tier, but it's like you can work on one script at a time if you're doing free tier.
And I think you get 3 total because I'm like at my script limit in the free tier right now.
And so, there's ways you can like offload your scripts. You can export them as like an editable format and then re-import them later if you want to work on, but they want you to pay for it if you're working on like more than one script. And I think it's one of those things where like, I did my calculation for how many subscriptions I have right now. Even after I went through and killed a bunch of them, and I'm spending, several $100s a month on various services and things. Yeah. And like, so like every one of those little like $10 a month, $20 a month things all add up. Yeah. And so I switched recently to a program called Fade In, which I really like. It does all of the format stuff really well. And it works. It's entirely local. It works to your to just files on your desktop, which is really nice. And in fact, it's also got a really good Android app as well. And if you happen to use Dropbox, or I think one of the other services, if you have your documents living in there, then it like auto syncs your stuff to your mobile device if you're using it that way, which I found particularly useful. But I haven't done any sort of collaboration on it. Okay. So I don't know if it's good for other people.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, well, generally speaking, I tend to use a program called Arc Studio Pro, which is another one of these subscription kind of like writing systems. Like it can be web based. It has various apps, saves all your stuff into the cloud. Like it's quite easy to use as like script software goes, like just for single use. And so I've predominantly written most of my stuff in there, and kind of like it's a nice kind of like easy no-brainer sort of method to do stuff. But it does cost. The free tier I think kind of like does a similar thing as Writer Duet, as in like you're restricted about the amount of stuff you can do. And then there are a couple of tiers above that. I don't like the way like a lot of the stuff is kind of like sliced. In terms of like keeping some of the advanced features away from you, because like they've got some really kind of like cool like story beats and kind of like idea vaults and things like that you can add in and kind of use to help your functionality when you're trying to flesh out a script or a series or something like that. And a lot of those are behind kind of a paywall to get to, which I'm not too fond of. I do have Fade In. I have tried it. I do like it. Like it takes a little bit of getting used to coming from somewhere which has kind of like quite a modern and like kind of web-based sort of layout and functionality. Like it's a gear change to move into to Fade In to use. Sure. And I need to kind of force myself to use it more because I'm just basically following the path of least resistance, and I'm not too sure it's the best way to go.
Oh.
Also,
Sure, yeah.
Fade-in's has got great support for templates, which I think Arc Studio does, but like theoretically, like there's a lot more out there for Fade-in, and I'm especially interested in the radio format scripts, like the BBC radio format scripts in particular, just
Cool.
because. I'm just interested to try them out because they are formatted in a way which is meant to help actors cold read, because
cool.
at least in the UK, kind of like a lot of the audio acting stuff kind of like follows the same sort of traditions that they began with, like the radio plays, but also like sometimes you find in like video game voice acting and stuff now, where it's the expectation isn't that you get the script in advance and you memorize it. It's you turn up on the day, you've got it on a podium and you're just reading. Like you'll give a couple of takes, but then you'll go through. So the layout for that makes it more intuitive for people to be able to understand exactly where their lines are within the script and be able to just read cold from it. So I'm kind of interested in trying that out and seeing if that has an effect on my actors, whether they favor it or not. I think to do that I will need to use Fade-in. But interestingly, the paid work I'm doing for Bloody FM, previously, like Pacific, who's the head of content there, has been a big fan of Fade-in and continues to be, but because of collaborative things that we need to do, has recently switched into Arc Studio Pro. So it may I end up using that anyway for that sort of thing, and hopefully get access to the higher paid tiers just through work. So it may
That'd be great.
It's probably going to be a mix of the two, but those are the two tools I tend to use.
I will say, also, I don't know if I mentioned, but Fade-in does have a paid tier, but it's a flat fee, and I think you get multiple devices off of it too.
Yes,
God,
so
a
it's
flat
like you pay
fee,
them.
imagine.
Which is another one of the
you pay
reasons I want to try it, because I want to support that business model if I can.
Yeah, it's nice. You just give them $80 and then you apply your license, and then you get and they don't lock any of the features behind. If I recall, they don't lock any other features behind their paid version. It's that they have a nag for you if you. It's like every time it auto saves like 10 minutes, it's like, hey, you're using a free version. That's fine, but we would like you to pay us, which is annoying. But like also, it does mean that you get the full experience and you really can look at all of the stuff. I know that, and I will also recommend. One thing I really like about Fade-in is that it's got a really robust reporting system. There are a lot of statistical reports out of Fade-in that are really cool, and a way to generate different types of scripts. Exports like PDFs based off of various parameters that you set. Like you can do just an export of one character's dialogue specifically. You can do
That's cool.
particular. You can do. I think there's even a version that's like it's everybody's dialogue, but it's only the scenes that a particular character's in. So you really can break things down and give people just the sides they need.
That's amazing.
And that's really nice. But yeah, I think it really is geared towards somebody, I think, working alone rather than collaborative, which may not be perfect for all situations. Now I should look into, because as an organization, Library of Cursed Knowledge has a online database repository of files and stuff called Nextcloud, and Nextcloud's one of those environments where people build integrations and build apps on top of it. So I should look, because there might be script writing stuff for that as well.
Worth checking.
Yeah, worth checking, because I already did all the work to set it up. So if it's not hard to set up another layer on top of that, that might be good, because it's basically that program is trying to be Dropbox and Google Docs, and it's trying to be Microsoft Teams. It's trying to be OneDrive. It's like trying to do all of the things that all these cloud services do, but while being open source and self-hostable. And I bet there's some sort of writing stuff on there, or hopefully there's script writing stuff specifically. So I'll look into that too now that you've brought it up, because that'd be worth doing.
Yeah, not that I'm like terribly opposed to drafting in Google Docs and then like reformatting, moving the text somewhere once it's been like, looked at on a first pass, whatever. But yeah, Google Docs is not very good for formatting anything.
When I first started trying to do scripts, I wrote the very first thing for Breathing Space in Google Docs, just like character name, blah, 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 do the whole thing.
Same.
And after that, I was like, oh, what if, I know there's got to be people who use Google Docs for script writing, and I looked up, and there are templates you can download that will like help auto format. But because it's having to work on top of that Google Docs layer, it doesn't do some of the stuff that's super useful in other software, like understanding that dialogue is paired to the character name above it and stuff like that, which allows you to figure out, like, get a report that says, here's how many words each character says, which is super useful.
Very useful.
Yeah. And like Google Docs just doesn't understand what that means. And so it will totally work for you, but you are missing features for not using something that's more dedicated.
It's very basic. Okay, well, thank you, lads. That was extremely helpful to me.
I mean, thank you for bringing it up, because it's reminded me that I do need to find an excuse to really kind of like dive into Fade and give it a go. I should have done it this week when I decided to write porn script, just unbidden, away from my normal projects. But yeah, it's I could give more context to that. I might not. Who knows?
No, do it. It's fine.
No context required. Just leave that sitting there.
Yeah. Well, and I am ostensibly, as the head of the network, in a position to help you guys out with some of that stuff. So if it turns out that fade-in is something that you want to use, or if we need to move to a more extensible system, let me know. That's a thing that network is here for. So if it's something you want to have, but want to, for monetary reasons or whatever, or you want to make sure we're all standardized on something, we can talk about that as well.
Yeah. Well, because also, like, when me and Sam were like, we got to bring in Mike, blah, blah, blah. Like, it would be useful if the three of us were working in a format that was like easily editable and shareable with each other.
Yes.
Which Google Docs is so easy for that, but it is so bad at many other things. So
it's not good at the script part. It's good at the like, collaborative part, but not the script part.
There's got to be something that's good at all of them, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'll have to remind me at some point when I'm not in the middle of a workday, and we can try passing back some fade-in scripts.
Oh, okay.
Literally, if I just hand you one that I've edited, and you can see if you can make changes and stuff like that, and maybe that, like I said, I don't know how good it is for collaborative stuff. I just have never, because it's obviously geared in a way that isn't really it's not designed for that from the ground up, but it might be good at it. I don't know. We just haven't tried. So, but that being said, knowing that Bloody FM moved off of it for more collaboration, it obviously does indicate that maybe is not what it's perfect for. But it's certainly worth exploring, because we. Well,
it may be worth exploring for us, a team of like 4 or 5 people, versus Bloody FM, which I believe is a much larger.
Yeah. And also, Fade-In provides no infrastructure for sharing, so you would have to have that on top of something else, Dropbox or one of those other services, and we've got some of that infrastructure built in as well. So it maybe it's one of those things where if we're all in Nextcloud and with the fade-in documents are living in Nextcloud, maybe it's okay to do some work in there and stuff. We'll have to experiment. That's a good thing for us to check out. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you. That was a great question. All right,
it was one that's been eating at me.
Yeah. Let's set some goals for the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how we do. 1 second, I'm going to check, because I just got a ping from Sam. They are here. Okay, jump in if you want.
It's like you're here just in time for the closing segment. Let's do it.
That's fun. Yeah. This podcast is scuffed. It's fine. That's like
it's
like
what it's every time
for. It's for the high chaos moves and stuff.
Which is why it's a good thing we got Mike on, because I feel like the chaos meter has shot up.
I'm sorry.
You've been here, which I love personally.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Anyways, Star Wars Extended Universe podcast when?
Oh my God! Don't frickin' tempt me. It's
audience, we were talking about this before we started recording today.
I have my desire to replay the X-Wing games
oh my God.
is so high right now. I loved those games back when I was younger. And they're canon in my head. That's part of the
it's really like that.
Yeah. The amount of knowledge I have retained about the strategy guides for the for X-Wing and TIE Fighter which had a narrative in between the like, here's how to beat the mission. They would have this little story about like the nameless person that you're technically playing as. And like,
God.
that's one of my favorite Star Wars pieces of media for some reason, because I was
love
exactly
that.
the right age for it. It's great.
Right. It hit you in
Hello,
all your
Sam.
buttons. Hi, Sam.
Sam could not record. Insert Sam noises here.
It's all good.
It's fine.
Sam life update.
Yeah, could Sam get a breather for 2 seconds, mayhaps?
Oh, yeah. I think we'd all like a breather, but it
Yeah.
seems like you more than some of us.
God, I keep thinking like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to just have a week where I did not have obligations, like where I could actually rest and like, I don't know, clean my house and like catch up on my life.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be great.
Insert Sam noises here.
Oh, we
Not
talked
all the things
about,
yet. So do you want to give an update, or do you just want to set goals?
Sam says some stuff.
Thank you for doing that. I'm making her hands at you.
Then we're going to get into goal setting then. Cool. So let's see. I think I normally start these things. So it seems dumb to just be like, I'm going to do the same thing I did the last couple of times, because it didn't work the last couple of times. So I'm at a particular conversation that I am finding difficult to finish, because it's with a character that I'm not sure I completely understand in my head yet.
Oh, sure.
I might just skip ahead. I'm seriously considering just going to the next part of it, and then I can come back to that other stuff later.
I'm clapping and cheering. This is what I always do.
So that's I'm just gonna say that's my goal. I'm gonna go ahead and move one scene ahead to the part that makes me hoot and holler.
Yes.
And we'll see how far I get from there. Let's do Mike next.
All right. Same sort of thing. Like, do I just repeat the same goal from last time? Possibly.
You can.
I'm still aiming to get this this first arc of episodes done and sorted. I think I'm about 15 pages away, like, from having it fully done. Like, most of those pages are written in a vomit style. Like, there is just words on a page. None of them really make any particular sense. The editing's fun, but like, it's gonna take a while, because that is the most sketchy part of the whole first arc that I've done is that last bit. I have made progress in that I've kind of like I've had a conversation with a few folks about like my ideas and whether it actually makes sense, because I had quite a few sleepless nights of just like staring at the ceiling going, I've been thinking about this for a very long time. It makes sense to me, but I don't think that's necessarily the case for every other human being in existence. So it's been very good actually talking to someone about it and kind of going, oh, actually, yeah, I can write this and have the confidence to put it on the page, and it's going to actually make some sort of sense. So armed with that confidence, I'm going to hopefully go into it and say, yes, by the time we can next together, hopefully this will be done, another piece, and I can give it to someone for full final feedback, and and then make a decision about where I'm going to go from there with it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're all nodding enthusiastically.
No, I feel you. Yeah. Jack and/or Sam, who wants to
Go ahead, Sam.
Insert Sam noises here.
Now it's my turn to have to do the homework.
Insert more Sam noises here.
Oh,
Ooh, good idea.
Even more Sam noises.
Yeah, I was like reading through Sam's draft of the first half of the pilot, going, okay, I personally don't remember what I said as his flight number was, but I don't think this was it, but I don't remember it. So yeah, there's a bunch of those little details we got to go back and check.
Well, and just going back and listening to your inspiration material, for lack of a better, because it's not always source material or whatever, but that's also just sometimes good once you've gotten a few dozen drafts in something to go like, oh yeah, the thing that this source is from, how far have I drifted from it?
Right. Yeah. It's like, are we still on vibes for it? Yes.
Yeah.
And my plan is to continue and hopefully finish drafting the second half of the pilot and get that back to Sam to look at before next time.
Okay. I'm actually going to add a second goal, because we, Sam, while you weren't here, we talked a lot about writing software.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to get with probably you, Jack. I'll probably send you some, like if I can have you download Fade In as a demo, and then we can try trading some files back and forth and just see how that might work.
Happy to do that.
That'll be pretty quick and easy for us to test, and that'll give us some data on whether or not that's something that would be useful for you, and if that's something
totally.
how the collaboration works. And if not,
Okay, sick.
All right, cool. Well, it was lovely to have lovely to have. All right, lovely to see you guys again and talk. My brain's gone. I don't know. And we will catch you and the audience in 2 weeks.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Bye.
Sam says bye. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Behind the Locked Doors. If you would like to learn more about us or our projects, you can find more info at our website www.librarydoorhorse, or if you want to give us money, go to patreon.com/cursedknowledge. But bye.